Welcome to the playthrough reaction of Downward. Of course, this isn't the post-playthrough reaction after I first played the game. This was, well, I guess not my first. Actually, really not my first. I thought it was very special that it wasn't a blind Let's Play, but I've actually done quite a lot of those, haven't I? I mean, my first Let's Play, just Dishonored, that wasn't blind. Knife of Dunwall and Bridgemore Witches wasn't blind. And then more recently, Half-Life and Lego Racers also wasn't blind. Of course, this is the first game that actually was... Well, I didn't play it years before I even started recording. And yeah, it's a really good game. I really like how basically the collectibles turn into ways of getting other endings. Because I can tell you that there are at least 3 endings to this game. And I'm not going to tell you which ones these 3 are. And now I have played through 2 out of 3. And if you want to know what the other 2 are like, go buy the game yourself. It's a really good game. It has a great movement system. Just how it feels to play is great. That's basically why I love these types of games. I love parkour games. Things like Valley really has the speed down. For the most part. I mean, there are slower parts in it, but where Valley is extremely speedy, those moments are just so great. And then there was A Story About My Uncle. That game nails flying through the sky. Just flying midair, soaring through the sky. That's something that A Story About My Uncle just does so perfectly. And then there is Downward. Downward, it doesn't have the sense of speed that Valley has, nor does it have the soaring through the skies that A Story About My Uncle has. Instead, it has the actual feeling of parkour. Just, you make snap decisions on what's in front of you. Just, if you are good at this, you can just keep going. You can keep hopping from the next thing to the next thing. You don't have to plan it out. It's so good. It's an amazing game. If you, like me, enjoy parkouring type stuff, well, one, you have to tell me what type of games you like in that subgenre. I don't know, that's the strange thing about these. They're kind of like walking simulators, but where walking is very interesting gameplay. It loses some story, but it still generally is very linear. I mean, Downward is the least linear of the parkour games that I've played, and I mean, you can kind of count parts of Portal as parkour games, but not really. But they are very linear, and they are good at telling stories. I mean, Downward, it's a simple, minimal story, but also gripping somehow. Now I completely lost the train of thought I was on. I'm really good at doing these types of videos, can't you tell? Meaning that from now on how loud my voice is and the music won't sync up anymore, as I'll be cutting out some parts probably. Oh well. But there are just some things that Downward does so well. Well, mainly the parkour, of course, is amazingly done. It feels so good to just soar through the sky. And then there are the 3 different planets which just completely change how stuff feels. Because the 3 planets, every single area reacts differently to every planet, or well, they behave in a similar way to each of the planets, but what the result of that is, it changes every area, which is just so cool. There is just a lot of variation within the game. And then there are all the collectibles, which are just very well done. Because the collectibles, a large part of them just serve the purpose of fleshing out the lore. The lore, really. They explain what this world is kind of like. It's still very light on that, just the world was destroyed, but well, you get some information on it. But then there are the cubes that you find, and the machinery all over the place. And you need to find those if you want to... Well, I don't know if you need them to unlock endings, but you need them to basically get told how to get that type of ending. You need them for information, which is just, well, it's a very cool way of doing collectibles, because why are you collecting stuff? Well, there's an actual reason to collect stuff, which is very nice for people like me who aren't achievers. I don't care about things like collectibles, but if there is more story to discover via collectibles, and yes, I would fall in the category of explorer, well, then I'm very interested. Which is, I just really like how that's done. It's a really good game. And it's another one of those games that I, for some reason, never hear people talk about, and I don't know why. I mean, I guess there are just a lot of very good games, and people just can't talk about every good game that ever came out, but... Well, I don't know. I never really hear anything... I don't hear anybody ever talk about parkour-y type of games. The only one of those that I've ever heard people talk about is Mirror's Edge. And generally not in a good way. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my reaction at the end of this. It's still a very good game. I do not regret making a Let's Play out of this, even though I knew mostly what was going to happen. Oh, and I must apologize about the constant flickering that my recording software did. I don't know why it does it. I don't know why Shadowplay is being a complete... why it fails to just keep the same screen for any amount of time. And... well, it's not like I can go to something else, because I tried Ilio Recorder, or whatever it's called, that people call me Lucifer uses, but that fails miserably. And I tried OBS, and that records at... well, I'll have very low frame rate, but now also Shadowplay is telling me it's recording at a low frame rate, and ugh. Why is recording just such a hassle? Do I really need to get some external thingy to bloody record? Because that's what it's beginning to look like right now. Then I can just use something else. Because running games is not the problem, it's just the bloody recording that never wants to fucking work. Yes, this is a very big bother to me. And it really shouldn't be. I really should be stressing out about how my study is not going the way I want it to. Although that won't be a thing anymore when this is finally going out, because when this is going out, like, episode 5 has just gone up, and this will be then 5 weeks later, and then, well, I wouldn't have to stress out about this anymore, I think. But yeah, Downward. It's still a very good game. I very much... well, I recommend it. And, I don't know. Normally in a post-playthrough reaction, I kind of have the feeling of, wow, I was blown away by the ending, but it is a very short ending. I mean, not a bad ending. It is a good ending. It's a closing part of the story, and it does it how it does all the other parts of the story. Minimalistic, but it leaves you thinking. But, well, I kind of expected it, and it's not like I did this for the first time. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and I don't know. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe think about buying it. It's a very good game. This has been Vinix, saying farewell.